Hey everybody, I'm Tara from Crooked Row, and today, while it's overcast and very windy, it's actually kind of balmy. I'm not even sure what temperature it is, but we love this kind of weather. So Elijah and I are going to go fix our raised beds. I had to come over here by the greenhouse because because the wind is so bad you would not be able to hear me. Right now I'm standing in the way of the greenhouse, so there's no wind coming through. But anyway, we love these kind of days and we love to be able to come out and do our work. It's still cool. I mean, we love sunny days a lot. Actually, this week has been such a great day for sunny days, and we've gotten a lot of sun, and sun always makes you feel good. But today we are going to work on our raised beds. We have quite a few raised beds that are starting to pop at their corners, and I wanted to show you guys exactly what we're going to go through to fix that so that it doesn't continue happening. And one really great way to do that is to buy these corner metal pieces that I got from Home Depot. The sheep are talking to us. They were $3.98 a piece, which is actually quite cheap considering that a lot of the garden places and even Amazon was about anywhere from $10 to $20 per piece. Sometimes you have to buy 3 pieces for one corner depending how tall your bed is. So I'm gonna head over there and show you exactly what we have going on, why we're doing what we're doing, and how you get your raised beds shored up, and then I'm gonna plant. Yay! My first planting of the year, so I'm so excited I can't see straight. So let's head over to the raised beds. So here we have our first bed, and as you can see, we have kind of a busted corner here. The reason why we do, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, that is rotted out. It was as tall as this one was. And it's actually one board. That's what's sad, is it has split. And look at this. That's just chipping right out of, ow, right out of there. I just hit a screw. So what we're gonna do is, we're going to take shovels and move all of this soil to the center of our bed, so that we can push this side back straight again, because as you can see, it is pushed out, it's crooked. I don't know if you can see that very well because it depends on where I stand, but this would be straight and you can kind of see where that's crooked. So we'll push this back in, and then these metal corners, we're gonna try to put them on the insides so you don't see them, and bring these two back together again. If we have to put them on the outsides, we will, but I'm going to try to get them on the inside. But we got to get this wood out first, and then we might have to do a couple of these on each side, and we want to make sure that these boards also stay together. So right here, there is a seam between the boards. I mean, of course there's a seam. So we're gonna wanna put at least one of them where a couple of the holes right here are on one board and a couple of holes are on the other board, so that they stay nice and flush. So that's what we're doing to this bed. We actually have 2 other beds that we're gonna work on today, and I just wanted to show you roundabouts what we're doing. I'm realizing that those corner pieces in our raised beds are, within a few years, they're just rotting completely out. So why not make galvanized metal corners instead? That just makes more sense. So we're gonna take care of this first bed first. The second bed is a little bit more intense, so I'll show you what we're gonna do once we get this one done. So Elijah and I are gonna get shoveling. So while we were unable to flop this over, we pushed it out away from the edge so that we can get in there tighter. So now we're gonna resume shoveling. Okay, so while Elijah was taking a break, I made an executive decision to just take the back of this bed off. And the reason I did that is because the board that was on the very bottom, it would not meet up with the other board over here because it was bowed out so much. And you can actually see, so all this dirt under here that's crumbling out that Elijah's doing is from where we fill these beds, the bottom of these beds, with wood. As you can see, Elijah just pulled some out. And this decomposes and turns into soil, which we love. But it is starting to bow down here. It's compacted through. We have hardware cloth right there, but that's a good 10 inches up off the ground. So we typically put that hardwire cloth on the very bottom when we're building the beds, but when we very first did this, like, what was that, 7 years ago, we didn't know that. And so we had a year where we had all of our sweet potatoes were eaten into because I think a vole or a mole or the R word that we don't like to say in this house, went through, oh, Boward. But it went through and took bites out of like all of our sweet potatoes. So we went through and dug up most of our beds and put the hardwire cloth down where our sweet potatoes had plenty of rooms to root, and the voles or whatever animal was hitting that hardwire cloth and couldn't get through, and it worked fabulously. But I highly suggest putting them on the very bottom of your beds, not 10 inches up. So we're going to continue to make sure that it's almost concave with the dirt so that we can get this the foundation board in correctly. On this side, again, these inner boards are rotting out, but the outer boards are still good. So we're looking at getting those corner pieces out and putting the metal pieces, you know, replacing those boards back again and trying to get all of this in. So we're gonna have to do the same one to this bed. So while Elijah is working on his bed, I'm gonna come back to this bed here that actually needs no work this year. And I'm going to pull weeds. We have sort of a failing garlic in there, but there's a bunch of carrots planted down at the other end. I'm gonna keep those in, and we're gonna eat those, you know, as we need. But I'm gonna pull the rest of it out because this is actually the bed that we're gonna plant in. So I'm gonna get started with that. Everybody, it is a new beautiful day, and Elijah got all of the corners done, and he and I did everything that we wanted to do. It is actually so windy today. There is no way I can film out there. So I'll have to show you a little bit later what it all looks like. So today, Chris and I are going to run to Lowe's, and we're gonna get this really kind of cheap topsoil. It's organic. And I want to show you exactly what we actually do with it, because I get the cheap stuff because I use my awesome compost to put on the top. And really the top 6 inches is what feeds your raised beds typically. There are some things like sweet potatoes that go deeper, but sweet potatoes do not need a bunch of goodies in the soil. So we are going to go to Lowe's right now and pick up bagged organic topsoil. So that really what we're gonna do is shove all of the good stuff over to the side, kind of put it on the bottom just to raise us up a little bit more, about 6 inches from the edge, and then we fill the rest with our good compost. So it is so windy. It literally, like, as I was walking out here to the greenhouse, it was like blowing me over. So there was really 0 point in me curling my hair today. But we're gonna go do that, and we wanted to bring you along, so let's go. Well, we are finally finished. We finished the first 3 beds. I am a filthy mess. Chris is a filthy mess. We have worked really, really hard today. And I think the hardest part was unloading the bags of topsoil from Lowe's. What do you think?
Comparable.
Yeah. Lifting those and like carrying them over to the raised beds was not my favorite part, but and I'm thankful.
Hauling the wheelbarrows to compost.
Yes, yeah. So I just wanted to explain. I wanted to come in the greenhouse because the wind is so strong right now. It's like blowing us over. I can't tell you how many times the camera fell over. You can hear our panels on the greenhouse trying to come up. I mean, we are set for storms for how many days? 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Like 5 or 6 days of storms. And I mean, boy, can you tell it's gonna be stormy because it is just really, really windy. So the whole point to our raised beds and what we do from time to time is I get that cheap topsoil and we try to put it on the bottom of the bed. And then that way the good composted soil that we have been feeding for years stays on top. And so then we take our wonderful compost that we grow right there, that we compost right there. And we put that on top, and then we just kind of, that's why my hands are actually as dirty as they are, is because I get out any chunks that we might have. That's the door that keeps coming open. But I do all the chunks with my hands, and then we actually mix it in the top, I don't know, 6 inches of soil. So that soil. I'm tired. That soil stays just nice with lots of organic material, and then of course we'll fertilize whenever we go to plant anything. I was going to plant these beds out and kind of just show you what we were doing for this spring season, but we're gonna have such bad wind that I really didn't want anything to be blown out, because you don't do seeds very low into the ground. So we will wait for that till at least the wind passes. So on another video we'll plant those up. So we had a good day, and So if we can bring our raised beds up to soil level and add compost, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.